Birth video ends up on Fetish subreddit without consent. My F33 husband, M36, is the most wonderful and caring person I've ever met in my life, I thought, almost overbearingly sweet. He's always concerned with how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, how is my mental health. He's an excellent father to our 2 children as well. I had a difficult birth with my first child. My hospital experience was bad. I felt traumatized afterwards. When I got pregnant with my second, I knew that, barring any issues, I wanted a home birth. My husband was all for it. He's a nurse, so I felt doubly safe with him plus my midwife to support me. The midwife filmed, and we also had a professional photographer taking pictures. Everything went great. It was so emotional and beautiful. I'm trying not to give too many details away since it's apparently available to anyone for their viewing pleasure right now. I have been pretty possessive of that birth tape. I never uploaded it anywhere. After I downloaded it onto my computer from our camera's SIM card, I uploaded it to a USB, deleted it off my computer, and I keep it in a little hope chest to watch when I'm feeling sentimental. It is so beautiful and important to me, and I wasn't interested in sharing it. I have several friends who put their whole birth on YouTube, but I wasn't interested in doing that. My birth didn't need to be shared with the world. It didn't need to be a teaching moment. It didn't need to exist to make others feel better. After my traumatic first birth, it was mine, and I cherished it. My husband didn't feel the same way, and sometimes had light arguments with me about it. He was never pushy, but several times, when I would watch it, he would comment, "This is such an excellent birth video. You are so happy and calm. I really think you should post this. Home births get such a bad rep, and this could put so many women at ease." I would tell him absolutely not. This is private. Stop pestering me about it. It's my body. He eventually dropped it and hasn't brought it up since. My husband and I have never been controlling. We don't have the passwords to each other's phones. I've never felt the need to check each other's phones or computers. I trust him implicitly. Well, I did anyway. I know he has a Reddit. We both read it pretty often, but I don't know his profile or what he does on here. IDK, I've just never thought about it. A few days ago, I was in one of my parenting subreddits and came across a disturbing thread about birth videos getting posted non-consensually in a birth fetish subreddit. I thought to myself, that is exactly the reason I didn't want to post my birth video. The commenter posted the link to the fetish sub, and I'll admit, curiosity got the better of me, and I went to look. I wanted to know if any of my friends' videos wound up there so that I could tell them. Well, their videos did wind up there. Every single one. The sub has several vast G drives linked to birth videos. But then I saw it. My fucking birth video. It looked like it had been a YouTube video at one point. IDK, I don't understand how this works. I can't find it on YouTube anywhere, so IDK, I'm so fucking ashamed and horrified. There is a close-up of, well, everything down there in a fucking fetish site. My baby taking his first breaths, me breastfeeding. It doesn't even cut off after the birth. It shows my baby getting weighed and just held. If this is a birth fetish sub, why does it feature so much of just my child? This seems like why more than just a birth fetish thing. IDEC how to report the video. I reported the post and Reddit says it doesn't violate anything. I am bawling as I type this. Like WTF. Only one person knows where that tape is. My fucking husband. I don't even know how to broach this subject with him. Hey, did you fucking violate my privacy and post our baby's birth online? Or did you submit it straight to a fetish site because that's where it is right now? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't believe I even have to have this discussion. WTF, even if he didn't submit that video straight to the fetish site, he uploaded it somewhere else where they found it. And now his actions have led to this situation. He exposed me to perverts online. He exposed our newborn infant to perverts online. Our marriage will not survive this, and I am a wreck. I should have known he had sick intentions when he was being so weird about wanting me to post this. Why? Why would he do this? I'm not even that angry about those sickos seeing me, but every time I think of my sweet little baby's face in there, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Surely this is illegal? Surely newborn babies can't be featured in content that people are sexualizing, can they? I'm also just absolutely gutted by the fact that so many other women have had this special moment bastardized by that sub. How many of them are in my shoes? Or my friend's shoes? I'm horrified. Do I press charges against my husband? I can't believe this is how my family is going to end. What will I even tell people? What will I tell my kids? IDEC what to do. Update. Just a quick update. I left and took the kids to my mom's house. IDK how long we'll be here. I didn't tell my husband anything. I just wanted to get the kids the fuck away from him. Even if he didn't share that video directly with those creeps, I don't want him around them. Update 1. I went over to my mom's house. She was bewildered about why I was there. I couldn't fess up to the reason why I was so upset. I am still so embarrassed. I didn't want her to go looking for the damn video either. Thinking of my mom searching around a porn sub to find my birth video made my skin crawl. I was hysterical. Still am. I couldn't really hide that. I just told her something bad had happened and we needed to stay for a while. I'm going to have to tell her, but every time I think about doing it, I just start crying more. The situation is even more complicated now, so I'm just scared people will be mad at me for doing what I'm doing, even my own mom. My husband called and texted over and over for hours. We haven't spent a night apart in years. I gave him no warning. I texted him once and said we were visiting my mom and would be back later, but that I needed a break. I was worried he'd call the police, but he didn't. He continued to text sporadically, pleading with me to talk with him about what was wrong. I went back over to our house the next day, around the time I figured he'd be off work. I took one of my mom's old phones and used it to record our whole interaction. Turns out he'd called out of work. He was so distressed. He ran up to me and immediately started asking what was wrong, asking where the kids were, etc. He was so understandably upset. Seeing him like that just made me start crying too. When I started crying, he started crying. He tried to hug me and I stepped away, which just made him more upset. It was such a mess. I was finally able to compose myself enough to ask him to watch a video on my phone. He was confused. More so when he realized it was my birth video. A few minutes in, he interrupted to ask why I was showing him. I ended the video, and 100 other birth videos in the G file folder appeared. He still just looked confused. I exited the folder and pointed to the name of the sub I was in. He took my phone for a better look, and I just started bawling and bawling. After a few minutes, he started raging about how we needed to mass report the post and call the FBI and blah blah blah. He kept repeating, "We'll fix this. Holy fuck, this is so sick." I tried to get his attention by asking, how did they get that video? But he just kept pacing around ranting. I just started repeating over and over, how did they get it? Until I was screaming at the top of my lungs. He eventually stopped and just stared at me. Neither of us said anything for a long time. He started crying and told me that he had started a daddy blog a year after our first was born. He posted about being a dad and eventually about his experience with my second pregnancy. He had posted the video on YouTube to link to his blog. He felt like there wasn't enough resources out there for dads regarding pregnancy. He didn't know I didn't want it posted until a week or two after baby was here, and I was so vehement about not posting it and getting it tucked securely away on a USB. It was up for about 10 fucking months before he finally took it down. He was waiting to see if I changed my mind, and was reluctant to remove it because he'd received so many messages from thankful dads about how educational and helpful his blog vlogging was. I had zero knowledge about this blog. I didn't even know people blogged anymore. We had both expressed many times how we didn't want to create a massive digital footprint for our children because of situations just like fucking this. So, this is such a fucking weird surprise. There's hundreds of pictures of our family on this thing. Anyway, we got into a huge argument about how this was a breach of trust and privacy. He maintained that he thought my reaction about not wanting the video posted was over the top, and how I never told him I didn't want to share it, how he didn't even think of it as a big deal, because he deals with that kind of thing every day, so it was just not a big deal to him, and blah blah blah. His excuses were stupid, and I don't care. My birth wound up on a fetish subreddit because of him, and we are getting a divorce. When I told him it was over, we had another big screaming match. He went through several different emotions, crying, wailing, begging, and finally anger. I hadn't said anything about custody arrangements or my plans besides divorce, but he started threatening full custody and how he was going to put up a huge fight, how it would just be, he said, she said, how he has the better job, etc. Whatever. I didn't tell him I recorded anything. Legal in our state. I eventually just walked out. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. I need to consult with a lawyer about what comes next. I am moving as quickly as I possibly can. Sitting down to write this update was probably a stupid move, but I received so many heartfelt messages from people concerned for me that it felt necessary. I honestly just needed to vent and have people tell me I'm not crazy or awful for doing what I'm doing. I told a few friends, and they all just seem weird. They're concerned about the videos I found in the Fetish group, but nobody has reassured me that I'm making the right moves in regards to the situation. I am in an incredibly bad place right now. I'm worried I'm making the wrong decision. Do I let him see the kids? I don't know what to tell my family. I don't know if I need to contact the police. I don't know if I want to. The most stupid part of me wishes I could call my best friend and talk to him about it. But, yeah, I'm divorcing him. What a stupid feeling to miss him so badly, and knowing that I will never be with him again. I just keep thinking that I'm doing something stupid, and I feel like so many people will see it that way. On top of everything, my birth video is just ... in a fucking fetish sub. Every time I think about that, I get choked up. I've reported it a million times in just the few days since I posted. I've made alts to try and report. I've had friends report. My other friends with their birth videos also posted non-consensually in there, have tried reporting. It doesn't matter. I sent the link to the FBI. It doesn't even really matter anyway. They're G drives. If the post got removed, if the whole sub was removed, my video is still in the possession of some sicko using it for fap material. My baby's sweet little face in there. I am sick. I am defeated. They have a post up in the sub about how their previous group was removed because of pedophile content. No shit. No fucking shit. Your fetish inherently involves children. They ask that Karens please leave them alone now. They acknowledge that pedophiles lurk in their sub, yet continue to steal content with children in it for sexual purposes. I do not understand how something like this is legal. I don't know how many other dark places on the internet my video has ended up. The most special moment of my life is now just this fucking smear of shit, all because I decided to try and capture it for memory's sake. Something that was supposed to bring me unending joy now leaves me weeping. I keep looking at my sweet toddler and just breaking down. He didn't deserve this. I wish I could go back and never have recorded that video. I took my USB and fucking smashed it into a million pieces just to feel like I did something. I am tired.